Good evening, everyone. I hope you're well. This is Yogi here. So it's about 5 minutes past midnight here in London, and I'm a midnight stitcher. Um, as some of you probably have realized, I like my late night stitching. So here I am, and coming back to this piece here. So what you're looking at here, it's a piece called the Winter Reading Nook. It's from Heaven and Earth, and it's absolutely lovely. So let me show you the mock-up. Look at this. So this is the full piece here, and with this piece, I'm actually starting from the center where the cats are. So I'm moving toward where the cushion is. So, and it's absolutely beautiful. I think this piece, if I remember correctly, only came out sometime last year, and I've been working on it for quite a while because I was so in love with it. And then I kind of lost momentum toward the end of the year and kind of just moved on to other pieces. And only till maybe a week ago from the last dream, I came back for the first time this year. So at this point, so let me see. Give me just give you a summary here. So what I'm stitching on is a 25 count Ada even weave, and I'm stitching 1/1 full cross. So this is what I've been spending maybe the last 2.5, 3 years doing. Pretty much 25 counts, 1/1, Heaven and Earth design. I just fell in the rabbit hole there. So I am so happy to come back to this piece. It's beautiful, and all my other pieces are beautiful, but this is, I just fell in love with this piece as soon as I saw it. That came out, and also this is max color, so this this is holy grail for a lot of stitchers, probably more than supersize. So I'm going to show you my progress so far. So before the last stream, let me just show you quickly. This is where I was when I came back for the first time this year. So there's a bit of what the first kitten. There are two cats on the two cats at the center there. So I started with from the cat and a beautiful kitty, ginger kitty, from the right there. And that's kind of the center of the piece. So I was very happy about that. And so the cat, the ginger cat, is almost completed, and I moved toward the right side and to work on the cushion. And so when I picked it up in the last session, I was halfway into the cushion, as you can see. And from that point, by the end of the marathon stream, I think I think I stitched for about 5 hours, over 5 hours. I'm just going to show you from my phone. This is where I was with a cushion when I finished the last stream. So I filled up the space at the bottom and moved a little bit toward the right there. And voila, I've in my spare time in the last few days, I managed to fill up this area there. So the cushion is probably about 80% completed, and this bit was such a joy to stitch. It's absolutely beautiful. And I also complete a small section, the blue bits that wasn't there before. I kind of filled that in as well. And if you have been, if you watch my last stream about this piece, you'll probably notice I switched my tracking stitching app, and now I kind of started using, let me just bring up this app called Cross Stitch Saga. So maybe not that many people are aware of it. I think over here in Europe and maybe America as well, most of us have been using Pattern Keeper, and it's a great app. So, but I came across Cross Stitch Saga. It's developed by a development team. I don't know if it's individual or a team in Russia. So it's actually a really great app, having used it for the last few days. So I'll go into a little bit about this app as I stitch. So, but it's not meant to be a tutorial or anything, kind of demo. It's just that it's such a great app. I just want to bring it to your attention. So this is where I'm going to start from today. So I'm having the app on top. You can use that as a reference. And then also the markup on the bottom right. It's absolutely glorious. I'm just so excited, so happy every time I look at it. And so here I am. So I'm going to today mostly focus on the cushion at the bottom left here. So I've defined this area. Let me just bring up the app quickly. So let me just zoom out here. So this app allows you to define a user-defined area, wherever it is, how many stitches it is. So I just picked up the kind of area on the bottom left there where I have a lot of loose stitches from the previous sessions. So previously I generally just go around and do sort of loose mini cross countries from all directions, because I'm starting from the center of the piece, which is probably less common to do. So in a way, I'm picking a stitching method that allows me to go toward any direction I want. So I've been sort of, mini country, mini cross country, in sort of random, well, not random, but just the direction that I enjoy doing at that moment in time. And now I'm starting to tidy it up from the bottom left here. So gradually it will become a little bit more organized, stitching one area at a time, mostly rectangular or square. So this is the area I'm going to be working from today. And let me just quickly show you the stats. So the stats you see on the left here is the numbers and stitches within that box area that I've just defined. So it involves, it's got 951 stitches left. So it's still quite a fair number. I'll see how far I can go today. And from here, I'm going to just quickly create a timer here. So I know how many stitches I'm able to finish. Let me see. Let me just spin that. Oh, I need to be careful because I don't want to bin. Oh dear. I was hoping to create a new session. So let me see if I could do that. I'm pretty new to the app, so I'm exploring it as I go. I was under the impression that I'm able to create a sort of timer, but it doesn't matter. It's got 16 stitches, maybe sometime from today when I have time to put in a few stitches. I can just start from here. That's not a problem. Let me see. It's Monday, but we're Tuesday today. Hang on. So let me see. I don't know what to say. Let me shift end of cross stitching day. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm not going to touch it. But I'll just let the calendar take over. We're going to go over to 10th of June anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to start stitching. Let me just change my view over here. And I hope you're well. The drink of choice today, normally late at night, I tend to drink my herbal tea, my peppermint tea. That's my favorite. But I just realized I run out of the peppermint tea. So I'm actually drinking green tea, which has got a little bit of caffeine in there. It's a little bit naughty this time of night, but I don't mind it. It works. I'll be okay. So this is such a beautiful piece. So let me just move it over here so you can see as well. So I'm working on this area here. So hopefully you're able to see. Let me have my little sewing machine needle minder there. Right, so I'm stitching from flowing from colors that's got minimum number of stitches and going up. And this way of stitching is efficient, and also it seems to be much faster than any previous methods, whereas parking or not parking. So it just seems more efficient, and I'm actually really surprised because it just seems like, you know, you are filling in a pretty large area. So let me see, 920. Let me see if my 920 has been done. Just double checking here. No, so it's a new number. 920. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. It's so efficient, and also it keeps you going in terms of motivation because you're moving up the number. So the further you go, the more numbers of stitches that you're able to stitch at the same time. So you're starting from single stitches most of the time. But once you get through that, the color changes slows down, if that makes sense, because you're starting to stitch. I'm in the bottom left here. The number of stitches for each color increases, and it's encouraging. It kind of, you know, motivates you to go forward. So I'm warming up here. I don't think I've stitched today, so I don't know where that 16 stitches come from last night. Oh, it's probably from yesterday. I have no idea. I'm still learning to use this app. So it might be a whole bunch of quirks that I'm not aware of. Whoops. See, I'm already making minor mistakes. So the warming up stitches normally involves errors. With me, it's like warming up the body. And maybe I can move it slightly over to the right there. And I just came back not very long ago from teaching a evening class, and it didn't finish till nearly 9 o'clock. And it's a really lovely class to teach. So it's an yin class. I don't know whether you're aware of yin yoga. Let me just count these ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's quite relaxing, particularly on Monday evening. People going back to work from the weekend, and they might get a little bit stressed. Oh, what's happening here? Why do I have... Okay, it's all good. And they're really looking forward to something to kind of set them up for the week, you know, to relax a little bit, because Monday tends to be most busy for most places, for most workplaces. Oh, this one I actually... Hang on. That's fine. I thought I made a mistake. No, I'm good. I'm just looking in the wrong spot. So it's a very popular class. It's always booked up very quickly. Like next week's class, it's already get 50% booked up, because people just want to make sure they get a place. And I use essential oil in the beginning and also during the class as well. So it's super relaxing. It's relaxing for me to teach as well, because normally with vinyasa or other styles of yoga, my classes are quite strong. You know, it's not like they're not easy classes to do. And sometimes you want that challenge, but it's really nice to teach a class that people can unwind and just go into deep stretches. Great, so this color is done. I'm going to just press the paint bucket and it jumps to the next color upwards. This is so great. I really, really love this feature. So 900 here, 900. Moving slightly toward the right there. I'm going to start from here. And a lot of students, they come back week after week after week. And it's just so nice to know that they love the class. And it's quite a late class as well. And to be honest, I go over the time a lot, because at the end, if you've been to any kind of yoga classes, there would be a kind of resting period at the end. It's called Shavasana. So the Shavasana you get for a 60-minute class normally will be maximum, if you're lucky, you get about 5 minutes where you can lie there and really just rest and, you know, for the body to be still. But with this class, I make sure they have at least 10 minutes. So proportionally for a 60-minute class, that's pretty long. But what happens is I provide adjustments, yoga adjustments. So what it is, if you don't know what it is, it's actually, if you think about it, almost like a mini massage. So traditionally, it's for the teachers, yoga teachers, to to provide for the students, to show the care, but also help the students relax as well, to go into deep, deep relaxation. So for the number of students that come to the class each week, I need at least 10 minutes, sometimes more, 10 to 15 minutes to go around everybody, and also have still a few minutes for everybody to rest, because the last person, you go around the class, someone has to be the last person. So sometimes, you kind of don't want to wake them up from their shavasana right after you give them the adjustment. So very often the class would be stretched out up to 5 to 10 minutes extra. And no one had problems with that so far. And also it's my time that I volunteer. And it's worked out really well, because otherwise, if you rush at the end, it kind of just defeats the purpose of the class. Not completely, but if you want to give a really good experience for the class, you do need that time. So it's quite a luxury to work somewhere that I'm able to do that. I'm not going to disturb the class afterwards, because it's the last class of the day. So there's no, we don't have to rush or anything. Good. I think that's, there's one extra stitch there. Nearly missed it. There's one on the upper corner there. And it's just a lovely class to teach, and I feel that students really enjoy it. And to be honest, a lot, majority of the places you go, you probably rarely come across teachers that provide adjustments nowadays. And I say nowadays, I say prior to COVID, to the sort of lockdown period, it was relatively common, and the yoga teachers are instructed and taught to do adjustments as an option, depending on where you teach. Oh dear, this one is coming loose. Let me see, just one stitch here on the upper corner here. But the whole COVID situation, I think it's getting much better now, but at least for a while, people kind of felt a little bit weird with any kind of physical contact. And also, there's a lot of more complex issues, like political correctness, in terms of, physical contact becomes a kind of weird thing. We're making it extra weird, even under a really appropriate situation, where we generally just become overly sensitive, overthinking human beings. Let me dot this needle back. Let me see. So this is 900. Let me pop it back. 900 here. And I think I've got all the stitches here. Let me move on to the next one. So 3827. 3827. Lovely. This one is going from top diagonally to left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. So adjustment in yoga, or adjustments period, either during the class or shavasana, became a slightly divided topic amongst yoga teachers, particularly if you're a male teacher. I've heard my fellow teachers, male teachers, being told, let me see, got it in the wrong spot. Literally being told not to touch anybody. They're basically told, just don't adjust, don't touch anyone, just talk. So that's where we are right now, unfortunately. So it's kind of an interesting subject because people can feel very differently about it. So I came from a dance background, and even now, if you go to any, if you learn ballet, for instance, you go to ballet lessons, it's totally normal for teachers to adjust you, correct you using their hands. They will literally reposition you if they need to show you as part of instruction, basically. And so I came from that background. I'm very used to being pinched, turn around, whatever. So I never thought about it until I started the training to be yoga teacher, and suddenly I was told to be careful about this, that, and the other. If you want to adjust, I'm totally in agreement with them in terms of, if you are going to adjust someone, you can ask for permission. If you don't know your students very well, then you can go in the beginning or during. You go, well, I provide hands-on adjustment from time to time if this is not what you want, or for whatever reason you don't want that. Just give me a little sign, ask them to wave when no one's looking. I think that's fair. You could do that. Even though I think human is such that the more you emphasize something, the weirder it becomes. So it's not a black and white answer, I think. It's not a black and white situation. Next, 7:40. Let me have a sip of my tea. $7.40. Okay, I need to get my thread right here. My thread organizer here. 7:40. $7.40 here. The beautiful orange. So I'm using a DMC floss for this piece. Pretty much all my 25 count projects, I'm using DMC. Well, bar a couple of them, half stitches projects I've been doing. They're CXC. So let me have a look. I am going to start from them. Okay. It's really lovely to come back to 25 counts. I knew I was coming back. I just didn't know when I was ready, so to speak, because for some reason, from the beginning of this year, I just decided I wanted to try something slightly different. So I went on a venture onto half stitches for 10 stitches on various fabric counts, and there's a 14 count fabric, 14 count projects as well. So those were the ones I started from when I first discovered full coverage. I kind of got those cross stitching kits, 14 counts, without knowing there were I was aware they were full coverage. I just wasn't aware of the genre. I didn't know they were defined as full coverage. I just knew that there are a lot of stitches involved, probably more than samplers. And that was the kind of my knowledge on cross stitching at that point. Mostly samplers and also smaller projects like dimension type thing, dimension cross stitching kits, and pretty much everything I bought. Hello, my kitty's here again. Hang on, darling, hang on a second. I'm gonna get confused where I am. Hey babe, how are you? The routine hello from my cat Dolly whenever whenever I'm stitching. When I'm not stitching, she's really busy. She's busy going out to the garden and maybe a neighbor's house, and also busy sleeping most of the time. But whenever I'm stitching, she will come over and ask for attention. Typical cat, I think. Let me just double check to make sure that I have not missed my spot, miscalculating. It's so easy to do. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 here. Okay. Why am I missing one stitch here? What have I got here? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 here. Ah, okay. Now I know what my confusion is. Okay, 2. Hello, babe. See, when I'm stitching in an area that's kind of bigger than 2 blocks, I start to get a little bit confused. It's a new challenge. Because I mostly either stitch block by block, or maybe every 2 blocks if I'm feeling adventurous. But this way of stitching, I have to go a little bit broader. I mean, it's user-defined area. I could have just done 2 blocks at a time, but I just want a little bit of a challenge here. I'm going to go a little bit broader. So I'm going to have to move down from here. I think I'm okay. And then I'm going to move it down here. I think that this might be the last stitch here. Let me just quickly check, make sure I haven't missed anything. Beautiful. See, I'm moving up the number of stitches. Now, this one's got 14, so I'm going up. So each time I'm switching a color, the number of stitches involved either the same or greater. So I'm going from the minimum to maximum. And it's so much faster. It's strange. There's the same number of stitches involved, but this way of stitching somehow just faster. So much faster. Now, 740. 740, and I'm going to commit these stitches. Lovely. So this is a glitch, I think. The background suddenly goes grey. It's not supposed to do that, but I haven't figured out how to fix it. It could be just a bug. But I can still see the highlighted stitches, so it's okay. Hello, babe. Hello, Dolly. You've got everything. You had supper, you had hugs, and you had a walk outside. You're supposed to be very, very happy. Let me see. 754. 754. So the last session, I briefly showed my needle docking method. If you're interested, you can go have a watch. I'll try to edit it out, maybe make it a separate video. So hopefully that would be helpful to you as well. So I've got my needles, God knows how many of them, threaded, and I just dock it on my needle parking or docking area. It's a pad. It's made of ironing mat, and it's worked really well. It's worked really well so far. I've been using it maybe for over 2 years. No problem there. Let me just move it toward the lower. You see? And from this point, I'm gonna, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Luckily, I can undo it. Hopefully it works. Hello, undo. Oh dear, that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to mark mark as I go along, because the number of stitches are increasing, so I don't want to lose track. I don't want to lose track of where I am. So that's one stitch under here. And then to the left. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. Because it's okay when it's under 10 stitches or so. When it starts to go up and kind of stitches spreading across the area, it's very easy to lose track if you don't highlight them, if you don't mark them as you go. So I'm going to just quickly mark it on my app here. Two down, one down, two down. Okay. Is it here? Wait a second. One down here, two vertical down. Why do I miss a stitch on the left there? If I oh, hang on. Maybe I'm one stitch off. I have a feeling. So, one, two. I think I am. I place these ones. Oh, you know what? I'm stitching the wrong area. That's why. That's why they don't match. I was thinking I'm counting the stitches correctly, but it just doesn't match the surrounding stitches. So this is one of the rare occasions I need to frog it. See, I'm still getting used to stitching more wider than 1 or 2 blocks. You're watching it live here of me learning my lesson. Let me just snip it off because it's starting to fray. And I'll see if I can frog these. If not, I should be fine. But otherwise, sometimes when I make mistakes, I just leave them on and I just later on come back and stitch over it. You can't really see it, not with 1/1, but this is fairly easy to frog. I'm going to just do that. So I should have come over here rather than here. So because it kind of looks similar. So in fact, I'm going to just leave these stitches there. I can just stitch over it. There you go. I'm a lazy stitcher. So in that case, I'm going to unmark these ones just so I can go back to where I was. So I need to check the actual block that I'm trying to stitch on. Yeah, it should have been over here instead. I stitch over there. So there you go. So 754. Seven, 5, 4. Let me get a new thread here. It's a nice beige color, slightly orangey, but here we go. Now I found this stitch here, and this one should be okay. I think it's, well, my excuse is the gray background, the glitched color. It's supposed to be white. If it's white, it will be a lot easier to see. If anyone knows how to fix this, please let me know, because I couldn't figure out why some colors, when you highlight them, the background, instead of white, is showing gray instead. So the contrast is a lot lower. And it's harder to figure out which areas are stitched, which are not. So if there's some saga expert, please let me know. Right. Now we're back in business. I'm gonna just push this down a little bit. That's better. As soon as I said that, I've already made another mistake. I could have just left it. Never mind. Because the colors are so subtle, you just can't. There's no way you tell that there's an error there. If you can, man, you're special. You should be given an award or prize of some sort for super eyesight and photographic memory. You can spot an error on 25 count cross stitch project, I think. Let me just gray background is a little bit of a challenge. Just need to get my head around. 2 down. I think I'm okay this time. Two down here. And oh, GMB, thank you very much. GMB says beautiful. Thank you, I agree with you. This is a beautiful piece. Sorry, I totally missed the comments. And yeah, so when the pattern came out last year, along with another piece, I think it's mushrooms, I can't remember the name of the piece. Both of them came out together, and I found quite a lot of stitches get drawn to the mushroom ones, kind of magic mushroom, kind of fantasy theme. But that that kind of style wasn't really for me. But I was totally drawn to this piece. Totally, utterly drawn to this piece. And from that moment on, I knew I'll have to. Oh, this bit is a little bit tricky here. Let me see. 1, 2. I may have stitched the last one incorrectly. That's why. That's okay. All of this will work out by itself. And I was so drawn to this piece. I was waiting. I waited and waited for the max color to come out because I wanted to do max color. And it didn't take long, luckily. Right, where am I? One more here. It didn't take long, and at that time I already had quite a few heaven and earth projects going, and most of them are large. You know, they're really, really large. But still, I thought, why not add another one on top of it? Why not? So that's what I did. And I'm so glad to come back to it. And I'll continue to do my other half stitch project, 10 stitch projects, and also the 14 count as well. I mean, seriously, I just haven't got enough time to go around to all of them. We need about 10 other lifetimes. So we have sufficient time to stitch all of them. Let me check if there are any other loose ones. I think we're good. Lovely. So I'm going to tuck this stitch in somewhere here. I tend to tuck it away from the stitches. So if they ever come off for whatever reason, the thread will get stitched down by other stitches. So that's my strategy. So 754. Let me see. A sip of the tea. Needlebug, hello. Oh, I knew Needlebug will come to rescue. So Needlebug says, to change your gray color, long press the box you use to define your stitching area. You'll see a button next to the X. Tap on that, then use the slides to adjust your color. So this is it. So let me just show you. Let me switch the color here. Then I can probably show you, Karen, what is happening here. So let me just commit. Let me bring the screen to the full page. So watch this, Karen. So the color of the background is great now, but I think it's glitching because now I'm going to press the paint bucket to commit these stitches. Everything switches back to white. So this is the default. And I think if I follow your instruction and long press, is this the pop-up that you were referring to? Long press on the box you use to define the stitching area. Yes. So, the stitching area. So this is a stitch highlights, and this is the for the stitching area. So am I correct? So this is what the background is supposed to be, the white color. But for certain colors, only happens to certain colors, the background was suddenly changed to gray. So majority of them display normally. And just I I I can't seem to find any pattern in terms of which color does that, but randomly, occasionally when I highlight, let me see if I can. So this color is fine, this symbol is fine, but occasionally the background just gets flipped to gray. And I suspect that's a glitch because there doesn't seem to be any particular reason for it. So it's a bit of a mystery. I can select that color again to show you what happens there. So let me see if I unflip that. I just switch to this one. See, that's what happens again. So for this symbol, for whatever reason, it changes the background to gray. So I hope that kind of explain my situation. Yeah. Yeah, there just doesn't seem to be any reason for that. So let me see if I can go back. Yeah, so then this color is fine. So I've been sort of looking at a setting everywhere to try to find a reason. The conclusion is maybe some sort of bug. So Zion says right now it's 3:01 a.m. So I'll watch this video tomorrow. I love watching Stitching with me while stitching. Zion, let me know where you are. 3:01. That sounds like my side of the world. Are you in Europe? But most Europe is probably 1 hour ahead. I'll be very interested to know where you are before you go to sleep. But have a beautiful sleep, beautiful rest. The video will be there. It will be archived, so don't worry about it. And let me switch back to this view. And I'm glad you can catch at least a little bit of this stream. And I hope to catch you next time, perhaps. Oh, Needlebug says, have you restarted your tablet recently? That might take care of it. I have. So I'm on my iPad. I kind of tried that, not today, but I tried it maybe when I first realized that there's a glitch happening. I restarted the app. I restarted the tablet as well. Didn't seem to fix it. So it doesn't happen that frequently, but just from time to time. So it's one of the mysteries. Hey, but you know the developers. Oh, no. I don't know whether you know the Saga developer, but I know Needlebug is very well connected with the app developers. So maybe you can give them a nudge just to say, hey, Yogi is having headaches right there. And if it's happening to me, it's probably happening to other people. I'll be very surprised. It's uniquely me. 781. It's great to see you again, Karen. I hope you're well, and thank you again. You know what I mean. 781. 781. Hush, hush. 781. Okay, here we go. So this color is flowing toward the bottom of the area here. So I'm going to just move it up a little bit so I can make sure that I don't stitch in the wrong area again. So I'm going down this way, and it's over here. So now you know why cross country for some people is not it's not easy. See, this is already one stitch off here. Okay, I know where I am now. But I may have... Ah, I see. See? That there's a reason I don't do cross country. I'd be completely lost. I'll never be able to find my way back. So even within this area, you can see I'm getting a little bit disorientated. So let me see. That's why I'm... Hang on. It's here. Because my area right now involves a lot of stitches I did previously, so it's getting a little bit confusing here. Let me see. Right. Needle bug. The other thing, oh, the Saga one I do not have contact with, just Paradise. I see. It's okay now. Max gave links to put Paradise on PC or Mac, and I can give it to everyone. Oh, Max, as in the developer, gave links to put Paradise on a PC. Oh, is there a PC or Mac version? Is that correct? Is that what you mean? Oh, good. Yeah, I was being hush-hush because I thought if not everybody can get the same access, it seems a little bit naughty to mention. The other thing you could do it, back up your charts, delete the app. Yeah, I thought about that. I just haven't got the guts to do it yet. I have to go back to your tutorial to see how to back up, so I make sure I do it correctly, because there are quite a lot of different options I find. So yes, I'll go back to your video and just make sure I do it properly. Maybe that's one option, and to reload the pattern. Yes, I'll try that, because the gray background is giving me a headache. It just totally throws me out. So let me do this, move up a little bit. There's one more on the left here. And one more here. Oh, that's wonderful. Everyone has access. That's great. So I don't have to feel guilty using this app. So not everybody can get hold of the conversion app. Well, it's not conversion app. It's just another stitching app that's got converting, file conversion capability. Wow, that's wonderful. You should let everybody know, because I think this app will transform a lot of people's stitching greatly. I mean, I really enjoy this way of stitching, and this functionality, as far as I know, I haven't explored all apps, but at least Pattern Keeper and Markup RXP, neither of them can come down to this kind of freedom and details. And so even though Cross Stitch Saga, it doesn't give you a trial period, and I'll be honest with you, in the beginning, that's why one of the reasons I didn't pursue, along with the file conversion situation. But I would say, hopefully, watching this stream, they give you some reassurance. It's an app that worth getting. I really do. I really do. And also it's a one-off payment. You know, you don't have to pay for subscription like Markup RXP. You buy one off and comes with all the updates and improvement. So definitely go for it. Oh, that's great news, Karen. I'm happy to know that. So for those who don't know, Karen's done a really, really good demo of this app on her channel. Please go watch, because I refer back to it many times now to pick up her tips. So she's been using it a bit longer than I have, and so it really helps, because otherwise, you know, you might go into the app and be quite lost, to be honest, because it's got so much functionality, and the tutorial the app provides, they're well, I think all of them in Russian, so you know, might not be very helpful. But go watch Karen's demo, please. It will help you a lot, and you can decide whether it's for you. And I think this app does not remove the benefit of having the other ones. It really depends on the stitching method. I use all three. So, you know, for different stitching methods, they will have their strengths and weaknesses to a certain extent. So, and I'll need to explore this app a little bit more before I can sort of, you know, give it a kind of a verdict fairly. But so far, it's been amazing. Other than that glitch, I hope they can fix. Well, I hope I can fix it, or maybe they can fix it. Excellent. So 781. I'm going to dock it back. Oh, Karen says, I'm a convert. No more pattern keeper markup. Okay, you're a deserter. Okay, I love this app. Worth a few dollars it costs. Yes, I don't know how much in dollars, but in UK pounds, it was just under £12. I think it's 11.99. So for me, it's totally worth it. And you buy one off. There's no, you know, subscription. And there's also a Facebook group for Saga Cross Stitch and Saga tips and tricks. I hope it's in English. Yes, I haven't checked their social media yet, so I'll look into that. But yeah, it's great news. So everybody can have it. Yay! Wonderful. So it will make a lot more sense when they watch my stream, because I'm sort of flogging this strange app that no one has ever seen. So, and I love to exchange sort of tips with everyone if you get to use it, you know. I bet there are a lot of features we're not even aware of, or you know, find different ways of using it. The next one, 718. So I haven't committed. Next one. Amazing. I'm just loving it every time when it just automatically move on to the next color. And also it takes me to the area as well. So if you define an area that's quite large, then it will take you there. Basically, there's a feature you can turn on, and you would automatically jump to that area. How good is that? Let me see. Oh, it's in English, the Facebook. Wonderful. I'll go and definitely go and check it out. I need tips and help with certain things. So, 938. I think without this app, I probably wouldn't have come back to this piece. I think the thing with 25 count 1/1 was I pretty much tried all different stitching methods, and sometimes when you've tried everything and there's still such a vast way to go, you kind of lose the motivation a little bit, you know. It starts to feel like same old. But the thing with me is that if I can switch stitching methods that's challenging, it just makes me really excited to get back to stitching again. So I just need to sort of find different ways of approaching the projects. Otherwise, I just get, you know, kind of it's stuck in a rut a little bit. I'm sure I'm not alone on that. There's a little knot there. Let me just zoom in a little bit more so you can see where I'm stitching here. I'm going around the bottom here. Another one underneath. It's a bit easier when you have surrounding stitches as references, provided they're in the correct location. But when you start a new area, and if you go from minimum to maximum in terms of number of stitches, the first few stitches, you're doing single stitches, loose stitches everywhere. That's when it's really, really easy to make mistakes. So that's something to be mindful about. Because very often when you have stitches, you just use them as references. But if they're not in the correct location, you just continue to make mistakes. 1, 2, 3. Is that correct? No, over here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So that's why I can't get my head around cross country. I think if you're using gridded fabric, there might be a better chance for you to get it correctly. But imagine if you're using fabric like this, that's plain. I think I'll probably just end up with a very strange design alien. If I do an entire piece, in color completion, cross country, I have no idea how anybody could do that. And as the number of stitches grows, as you go up, from minimum to maximum with the colors, it just gets faster and faster, I think. Because you don't have to change the thread as frequently, and it just flows. How wonderful. Nice re-age. I'm going to dock it back. Next, I'm going to press the paint bucket, and it jumps to the next color. Oh, love it. 3371, 3371. And Needlebug mentioned there's a link that you can go to if you have, if you don't know where it is. Please go to her channel, and just I'm sure you can find information there. So I kind of want everybody to get a copy of this app. It's so much fun. And this app also handles half stitches and back stitches as well. So if you have a piece that's got a mixture of all of them, you're in luck. So provided your pattern is digital. So what this app doesn't do is importing scanned charts. So that's what Markup RXP is really good at. It's got amazing importing capabilities as far as the print. If you scan your paper charts, you can scan them in, and as long as the scan is good quality, Markup XP is very powerful in terms of recognizing. It's a pattern recognition, and it would turn your paper patterns into digital patterns. So that's what I mostly use Markup for. I don't use it for any other purpose. Let me see. Just make sure I'm okay here. Let me mark them as I go, so I don't get lost. And I'll continue to use Pattern Keeper as well, because maybe I'm just not familiar with this app that well just yet. I think I tried to do row by row with this app for another project, and I actually found it quite fiddly to do. So obviously it could have been just me not being familiar with this app just yet. But I find that if you're doing a lot of parking constantly, you know, let's say if you're doing sort of sorry, I keep saying Emma, I'm so sorry, Gemma Stitches method, where there's a lot of color changes constantly and parking, you actually need to go through more steps to perform those actions. As far as I know with this app, maybe I'm missing something. I'll continue to try again. But until I figure it out, I'll continue to use Pattern Keeper, because Pattern Keeper is most efficient when it comes to parking methods, I think. And I do a lot of row by row as well with my 10 stitch projects. That requires a lot of parking, a lot of color changes. This is so much fun. Because prior to this, I did try the color completion, color by color, from minimum to maximum with markup RXP, but I could only do one page at a time, because that's kind of the minimum size you're allowed to do. You can't do that with Pattern Keeper, because Pattern Keeper pretty much treating the entire pattern as one, even though there's definition for pages, but it's kind of quite superficial. You know, all the calculation of stitches, progression is project based. Whereas markup RXP, you can do page by page, so that's nice, but nothing below that. So a page is kind of a minimum area as far as the pattern goes. But with this app, you can define any size, area, shapes. It's quite mind-blowing, actually. 3371. 3371. Let me see. Let me dot my needle there. And I'm going to commit all these stitches. Next. 3A01. 3A01. And to be honest, prior to trying out this app, I thought I've tried everything as far as app goes, because you seem quite straightforward. With the Pattern Keeper, you have a digital version of the pattern, and you're able to mark them, part thread. All is good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And lo and behold, there's something else. Hang on, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just need to make sure, because this block is mostly unstitched. So I'm going to make sure I start at the right point, or it would just be disastrous the further you go. 2 and 3. Oh dear. I think I stitched this one. One stitch off. So it should be the position above. One, two, three. There. It's a lovely color though. Kind of slightly summony. One, two, three, four. And if you look at the entire pattern, it's like everywhere you go, wherever you stitch, there's just so much going on. Other than maybe the sky, you know, the area outside the windows. It might be a bit more challenging because it probably doesn't look like a vast area, but if you look at the totality of the pattern, that's, you know, just the windows, the view outside the window alone probably will take you a little while to stitch. And with my pace, it will probably take, I don't know, we could be talking about years. So that's why I started from the middle, because I just knew that there's no chance I'm going to get through it happily till I get to the cats. You know, I wanted to stitch the cats. So I just dive straight in to the middle, start from the center. Because most pieces I start from the upper left, like normal people. But this piece and maybe one or two other pieces that I started from the middle. Let me see, let me mark them so I don't get confused. So I'm here and here. It's so flexible. And one of the great things is you can pinch and zoom. You probably noticed there's no tabs to switch between markup mode, edit mode, search mode that you have with Pattern Keeper, which is not very intuitive. It took me months to get used to it when I first got Pattern Keeper, because my instinct is just to go pinch and zoom, find the location and start marking. And I can't tell you how many times I just get stuck wondering what's happening on the screen. And then I realized I'm supposed to switch to different mode. And with this app, you don't. Karen agrees. Oh, if I would start at that part I really like, the cats, I would not want to finish the rest. Say my favorite parts for the last. See, that is so fascinating, because that is the complete opposite of the way I work. And I'm glad you said that, because, you know, I'm just happy that there are other people They're a lot more patient than me because I just wanted to dive into the area I love. But to get to the cats, if I'm realistic with the pace I'm stitching and also the number of projects I'm juggling, I could be just still stitching maybe the top part of the bookshelf somewhere there, even a year later. And to get to the cats, we're probably I don't want to say decades, but I don't think that's far-fetched. And I'll always be wondering, oh, I wish I was stitching the cats. So when that probably has a lot of impact on what patterns I choose, because I'll look at a pattern, if there's kind of acres of sky or trees or ceiling, I'll think twice. I'm not saying that I haven't got projects like that, but I'll go, well, it's a beautiful design, but really, is that really going to work for you? So you have to be realistic. And Karen Needleback says, if I do the cats first, well, I'll end up cropping it up and calling it a finish. Would you really? Yes, that's pretty hardcore. Yes, give me incentive to work on it and finish. That's fascinating. It's like sometimes there are kind of observation of how people eat a plate of food as well. So there'll be people who dive into their favorite thing to eat on the plate and leave, everything else later. And some people do the opposite. But funny enough, with a plate of food, I probably tend to do what you do. Or I'm not totally one way or the other. I'll probably eat a little bit of my favorite bits and then go to the bits that I'm feeling okay, or even don't like, and then go back and leave the favorite bits at the end. So, but when it comes to stitching, yeah, but then again, I do have a couple of pieces that I'm, 3 years later, I'm still stitching the ceiling, so there you go. So some pieces I can wait. And with this one, I just love this design so much. I wanted to dive to straight to the cats and also the cushion as well. I just love the fabric, the textile element of this piece. Just look at this cushion. It's not just the mock-up, it's just so beautiful, so intricate. I just love it. So I'm so happy that I can stitch it right now rather than 5 years. Oh, these colors just making me so happy. Yeah, so I think Karen is more of the delayed what's the word? She's patient enough to wait for the reward at the end, whereas I'm a little bit more impatient. Right. 782. So I'm going to the bottom lip there. Let me move up a little bit. There's one stitch here I've missed. Gets a bit tricky when you have a boxed in stitch there. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see. Don't look carefully, you can miss it. So one below. One, two, three. And there's another thing. I don't know whether Karen noticed it. When I converted these patterns, everything came out well after conversion. So I used Paradise to convert them, the PDFs to the compatible format that can be read and imported by Saga, this app. But I found that some symbols got switched. So they don't use the same symbols as the original. And it's not such a problem because it doesn't matter what the symbols are. The thread numbers, as long as the thread numbers are correct, they come out correctly. They just use different symbols. But sometimes I find there's duplication of two different colors using the same symbols. And I think what happened is, my guess is that the Saga, cross-stitch Saga, they have a certain set of symbols that's allowed within the app. So if anything that's out of that library, it just swap the symbols to whatever is available. And sometimes they use the same symbol for two different colors. So you just need to be mindful. If you're following the thread numbers, you shouldn't have any problem. You're not gonna stitch the wrong colors. But if you're a symbol person, some people tend to refer to symbols rather than thread colors. It's probably useful to cross-reference to the thread number. Just double check that it's correct. So that's probably one of the things you need to be mindful about. But I generally use, I follow thread colors, so it's not so much a problem. Oh, Karen, yes. So Karen says, I saw you on and just wanted to drop in and say hi. We'll watch the rest tomorrow. I'll send you the link. So have a good night. And thank you for the chat. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for the rescue. And it'll be great to have a link. I'll share it with everyone. And hopefully people will be able to get hold of, have access to this app. And good night to you. Nighty night. See you later. So, just want to make sure I haven't messed it up. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Two here. I've completed these ones. Karen is so helpful. Really, really grateful. So we've got that one here. So I have a suspicion I may have stitched one extra to the left there, but I bet you can't tell. Whoops. It's running very short. Oh dear. Let me have a look. Gonna have to end this one very soon. Gonna end this one here before it runs out. So 782. 782. I don't know whether you've watched anything from this guy called Louis Theroux. He's a British guy. I think he's kind of known outside the UK as well because he's done a lot of documentaries. One of them was called Louis Theroux's, I think, Where Weekends or something like that. There's a whole bunch of different series, and recently I've been watching a lot of quite a few programs on BBC iPlayer. So generally I don't watch TV. Not generally, I absolutely don't watch TV as in a conventional sense. You know, I have a TV set. I rarely use it. I mostly just watch YouTube or sometimes a few movies on Prime, etc. And but recently, because I kind of downloaded the app so I could watch one of the documentaries of a ballet dancer, and So I said, well, I'll just look into their catalog to see what else they've got. And then I came across a whole bunch of Louis Theroux's programs they did in the past. Some might be a little bit newer, but lots of them, they're back in maybe, 1999 or 2000, that period of time. And there was one documentary, or one episode. He went to India. He did a theme on people go to India to try to find themselves or find gurus. And I've seen that documentary before. I've seen that program before, but that was ages ago. And maybe I watched it on maybe YouTube somewhere, but it was really blurry. But on the BBC iPlayer, it was super clear. I don't know whether you're able to download and watch the content outside the UK. It might be region restricted, but I'm sure you can find that episode on YouTube as well, because I've seen it before. And it's really fascinating because, let me just double check. I've finished this color now. 782. 782. He went to India and went to this kind of retreat type of place or temple. I don't know what to call them. And let me just commit them. The next color, 970. So he went to India and interviewed a few people. I think mostly they're probably from Europe and America as well. And for whatever personal reasons, they found themselves there in India following a guru type of person and worship them, basically worshipping a living person, which is interesting. And he kind of went around a few different gurus, talking to them and try to find out why people were following them, and really dedicated. And it was fascinating, really fascinating. And I don't know how to make of it, because I think, I fully support people going, for whatever reason, having been through some major events of my own life as well. I know the need for answers, for solace, and it might come in different shape or form. So I never judge anyone for, their choices, their options. But at the same time, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, here. But at the same time, because when you're looking for answers, you're probably in a more I don't want to say vulnerable, but you're probably more open for a suggestion. So you could fall for people who maybe take advantage of that. It could happen. Most people look to religion or some kind of belief to find answers for whatever they're looking for, basically. And with my own life, I turned to yoga. That's how I kind of went into yoga. I was always practicing yoga in some way, but I kind of saw it as a form of exercise, really nice exercise. You know, it helps you to become flexible, stronger, and that's fine. But when I went through my own life challenges, yoga had different meaning. So I can totally understand that people kind of turn to something that's beyond material to try to find answers. So I have really mixed feelings watching the documentary, because there's a part of me wanting to judge it, to go, well, you can't be that gullible, because apparently one of the gurus, according to the disciples, can materialize things, can manifest things out of nowhere, right? Stuff like that. It could be true, I don't know. Who am I to judge? But it seems, well, I don't know, unlikely, perhaps. Or maybe for whatever reason it was interpreted that way because people want to. I don't know. But another part of me made me question my own choices. Well, not so much my own choices. I'm just thinking, if for whatever reason someone come to me and go, well, you're lost in yoga world or something like that, because maybe they think that hello babe, oh, it's my cat Dolly again. Hello babe, what can I do for you? Oh, she just came back from the garden. I could tell because she feels really cool. Her fur is nice and cool. I know she's just come in, and she always says hello when she comes in. It's a very polite cat. I kind of went into a sort of slight thought experiment, thinking that if someone came to me and start to challenge not so much my belief, I don't worship yoga, you know, it's just my way to find calmness and other things. But if someone came to me and start confronting me and go, well, you know, what you're looking for is not there. It's an illusion. I don't know. I probably have a few things to say. So I try not to judge others for their choices. So there was a little bit of inner battle there within myself. I was like thinking, well, my brain wants to judge these people, saying that you're worshipping a human being that perhaps is not what you think they are. But another part of me, I think that's very cruel to think that, because who am I to judge other people's choices? Because I wouldn't want people to judge me for my choices. It's a really interesting documentary, so definitely have a look. I mean, Louis Theroux's kind of make it almost comedic, you know, it's kind of funny, a lot of funny moments, but at the same time, it's pretty real. It's pretty real. Hey, babe. Last one for this color. Nice 70. Nice 70. Nice 70 done. Nice 71. Nice 71. Another sip of my tea. Love green tea. There a little bit. Hey babe, what can I do for you, babe? And Dolly's in a attention-seeking mode. And for some strange reason, because I love dogs as well, but I just know that, you know, I'm not really suitable for having a dog. Because with a dog, it's like having a child. You have to walk them a certain time, a fixed time, and it would be kind of hard for me to do because my timetable is not fixed. And so I love dogs, but I never had one other than the childhood dog when I was a kid. And today, on the way back from my yoga class, there was a guy walking a dog in front of me, and it's not uncommon at all. You know, you see people walking a dog all the time. And this little doggy, really, really cute, medium size, just suddenly rushed toward me and start kissing me, licking me, and asking for a hug. I mean, this dog was literally having his, well, it's her. I found out it's a dog, it's a girl. Her paws were literally on my chest. She was hopping up, asking me for a hug. And dogs are normally quite friendly to me. I think they can sense that if you're a friendly human being. But I've never had a dog literally just kind of try to pin me against the wall. Quite flattering. But I was so happy because I hadn't, you know, come across a dog. Occasionally, if I go to the vet, you know, I get to pet someone else's dog. And this dog was literally just running to me and hug me. And I could see the owner's face. He was so surprised. And he was apologizing. I was so, no, 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 this is so nice. And so I gave the dog a big hug. And it was just so lovely and such a surprise as well. You know, there are a lot of friendly dogs there, but I never had one literally just come running at me. And that was a nice moment. That made my day, really. That made my day. Such a lovely, lovely spirit. And I think anybody who has a dog or cat or any pet can relate to the love you get from them. It's just nothing like it. So thank you, doggy, if you're watching. You made my day. It's one on the left there. So last session, it was a marathon one. I think I streamed for about over 4 hours, to the point that my microphone gave up. I think it just ran out. Well, I don't think it ran out of battery, but for some reason it just go, that's it. I'm off. So you might find the final maybe 10 minutes, there was no audio. I didn't even know till later. Oh, it's got a snack there. For some reason. Let me see. See if you can fix it. But it didn't feel like it. I was just so focused on stitching, and I wanted to complete that section. I just didn't realize it was like over 4 hours. My goodness. But the days, things just flow. So when it's flowing, I try not to go against it. I just flow with it. And I'd love to do a whip at some point to show you what I've got right now, because I've lost track. I have no idea how many ongoing projects that I'm doing right now. I've got quite a few. I'm just at 25 counts alone. Geez, I'm trying to come up with a number. I can't, because I'll be guessing. Maybe it would be useful to just do a live whip. So I got to count. And then maybe I would have some idea how many decades total would take for me. I think I probably missed these 2 stitches. I'm going to just stitch over them. I don't mind it. They're orange colors, so I don't have to figure out what they are. It'll be fine. So all these remaining ones are the same color. So normally with larger stitches, like 14 in particular, I try to minimize the boxed in stitches, like these ones surrounded by all the other stitches. But for 25, it doesn't feel too bad. The reason I don't like it is because the areas could feel really tight and it's not much fun stitching. when you have to push your needle through really hard. But for 1/1, it feels okay. So, you know, I don't mind stitching this way. Let me see. And last one here. I'm going to anchor it somewhere here. Tuck it in to end the thread. And just check if I have any loose stitches. The other area, good. So done with this color. See, the number is increasing. The next color, I've got 23 stitches at the bottom there. 300, 300. So it's that one. DMC is quite smooth. It rarely snags when you pull a thread out. It probably happens more with CXC, even though I really enjoy stitching with CXC as well. Right, so I'm going to start from the bottom left here. So this area is starting to fill in. And it's interesting because I'm following the number of stitches for each color. And it's just interesting to see the color distribution based on colors. So the larger numbers tend to be more dominant color. That makes sense. Whoops. Missed the corner there. Mm. Better not there. going to mark the stitches as I go so I don't get lost. Right. And move down here. So what I'm going to do next with my patterns with this app is to import maybe most of my digital projects here. I mean, those printed ones, I'll keep them on markup at RXP because only markup can handle those. But all the other ones I would like to try with this app. So, and see how it goes. And if some of them are not suitable for Saga, then I'll just keep them on Pattern Keeper. Because some of them involve so much parking and so much color switching. Until I can figure out how to do it here as well, I'll leave them where they are. I think my view is that all these three apps have their own strengths and have their own weaknesses. Lovely. Oh, so much fun to stitch this piece. Let me see. 3 over there. Just need to find my place. Okay. These ones are done as well. I love Amy Stewart as well. I've got this piece from her. And I've got another one that's Cake Shop. I can't remember the full name. It's quite a popular piece. I've seen quite a few stitches, they do it. And that one is max color as well. Maybe that's the next piece I'll go to in terms of import. I'll import that one. That one I actually made a fair bit of progress. And maybe around 10%, which is tremendous for a max color piece. A lot of pink colors. I love pink. Maybe this is the last one for this color. Is there any more? One more. Beautiful. Finish. And this right here. You see? So this one, 300 is done. Next, 400. Again, mostly at the bottom there. 400. This bottom area is starting to take shape. So over there. I think most of these charts, obviously they're vast and also take a long time to finish. So I'm wondering, you know, places like heaven and earth have so many charts. How do they make sure that each piece, each chart will come out correctly and beautiful in terms of colors? You know, I'm sure they use the software and it composes digital mock-ups. But until it's actually stitched, it's very hard to tell how it's going to come out. And I can't remember for sure. I remember vaguely that they might have professional stitchers to stitch out not the entire piece, but it's kind of samples, so they can have a check. And that's a fascinating profession, don't you think? Just to stitch as a testing person. Oh, let me pick out this one. I don't think it's come out. Let's go in the right corner there. But imagine having that as a job. Just stitch for heaven and earth as a profession. But even with that, because you're not, well, it's probably unlikely they stitch out the entire piece. They've got so many pieces, and each piece takes years to stitch, perhaps. There's no way you know how it's going to come out in its entirety until someone does it. I wonder if they go back and try to fix certain parts of a chart if they don't think it comes out as good as it should be. I don't know. It's fascinating. Let me see, have I done these ones? Yes, I have. So, mark these ones. It's so nice, I don't have to switch modes. Very intuitive. 400, I need a new thread. 400. Here we go. This one doesn't like it. So I don't know if you can see this needle. It's actually gold color, completely gold. And they're from John James. But I prefer the non-gold one. This one, for some reason, the gold is beautiful, but the texture, it's a little bit, it feels a little bit more friction to the surface. I don't know, maybe it's just the gold finish that creates that. So it doesn't, I don't mind it, but it doesn't go down as smoothly as the normal chrome ones. It's quite interesting. And some people swear by these gold ones, so I thought I'd give it a try, but it stitches a little bit differently. I don't know whether you can hear the sound. It actually creates a sort of friction sound, sometimes a little squeak. Can you hear that? But I use the gold ones as well because I need as many needles as I can get. I go through a lot of them. If you see my thread parking system, you wouldn't be surprised. Can you hear that? Little squeak. And by the way, this is 28 size needle. So it's a perfect size for 25 counts. I don't know whether you can get smaller needles. I think 28 might be as far as cross stitching needle goes because these are blunt at the front. I don't know whether you can get smaller ones. You'll probably feel too delicate in the hands. I don't know. And for everything else, I use 26, pretty much. Two split. Can you hear that? It struggles a little bit as it goes through. The regular needles wouldn't do that. It would just go through it. Okay, let me mark these ones. Five more to go with this one. When you go from minimum to maximum, there's kind of incentive for you to keep going. If you do like I normally did with 25 counts, kind of mini cross country and just stitch till either the stitches run out within that area or till the thread runs out. So normally I kind of stop. It's I think it's fun to do, but also if you want a little bit more structure, then it's kind of lacking a little bit because you can literally go any direction, stitch as far as you like, and no particular milestones. You just keep, stitching either diagonally or, in my case, toward any direction I want. So there's a balance of freedom and some kind of structure as well. And I think depends on your mood, Oops, it's a knot there. Most of the times I like some sort of rules around the way I stitch. Probably that's why I can't go cross country, because I'd be completely lost. I mean, first of all, I probably stitch. I would probably make mistakes everywhere. Let me commit these stitches. And also, it will probably at some point start to feel like an endless thing, endless path, because you're not really going anywhere until you finish the piece. Or maybe if you complete a color, but to be honest, with pieces this large, if you do color completion of the entire project, a single color will probably take you, well, I don't know, for me it will be years. 3A52, unless they're loose stitches, 3A52. So all these colors are now running at the bottom left corner, which is kind of nice because you can see it will start to fill up and taking shape. That's a nice feeling. So rules for me are good as long as it's not so restrictive. You feel like you're doing for the sake of it, Let me just check. You want a method that gives you structure and milestones, but also flows. It has to flow. Oh, I can't find a corner there. It's a bit tight here. Hello. And I know some stitchers, they prefer the non cross stitching needles, you know, they prefer the pointy ones. I haven't tried those. I think I'll be stabbing everywhere that I'm not supposed to be stabbing, but it might be good if you were stitching areas that's surrounded by other stitches, because the sharper point tips might help you to get through the fabric and the stitches. It's line across over there. So the bottom part of this area is taking shape, which is quite nice. And pretty much all these stitches are the same colors. And the bottom one over here. A few more stitches here. It's nice to fill in the area just the same color. You don't have to refer to the pattern all the time. You just move your needles to wherever. Then 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the bottom part is almost pretty much filled up. Oops. It's kind of short. I think I'm going to end the thread here before it's getting too short. So I've done all these ones. So one more there. So I've got 6 stitches on this one remain, and it's 3A52. 3A52. So let me double check. Oh, I missed one stitch over there. Let me just go over there. There's one over there I missed. Or did I? Just want to make sure I haven't stitched wrong area. Okay, so all of the stitch at the bottom are the same color. So a little bit naughty. I'm going to jump back and stitch this one. Don't know how I missed that. And then come back. Last 2 to go. Just tuck it over here. We'll see if I'm able to squeeze in a couple more colors for this session. Cool. 3A52. 3A52. A cup of tea. Lovely. And it's always a surprise which number is going to be the next, because it's all part of the fun. So now I'm going to commit these ones, mark them. Okay, so it's moving toward, oh, it's how nice. So it literally follows the shape at the bottom there. That's nice. And it's got 26 stitches for this one. 310. That's very dark. 310. There you go. So tomorrow I don't have early classes, so it's a bit of luxury to be able to stitch nice and quiet. at night. I always feel so lucky I'm able to do that. One piece and just doing things you like. Move it over there a little bit. Oh, let me see. Let's stitch this one first. And very often when you look at the distribution of the stitches, you have a kind of a strategy in your head. Which direction you want to go, so you don't have to take, well, I should speak for myself. I have a strategy in my own head, so I know roughly where I want to take my thread, my needles, so I don't end up having to carry the thread for too far away. That's part of the fun, actually, because you feel like you're being clever when you're able to do that. So now I'm moving over there a little bit. Let me mark these areas. These stitches are done. So I really enjoy stitching darker colors as well, because it just gives the piece a lot of definition, you know. I mean, the lighter colors are obviously necessary, but there's just so much definition when you stitch darker ones. You just feel like it's turning into something. I was watching Jimmy Stitches with a stitch alone, stitch with me, and the piece she's stitching right now, I think it's almost 80% complete. It just seems she's stitching maybe the bottom 2 rows, and it's quite a large piece. It's a regular piece, heaven and earth regular, but a lot of stitches are involved, and she's so fast and so monogamous when it comes to stitching. She's got a few pieces going on, but she always has one that she focuses on, and she never gets bored of it. That's remarkable. I don't know how she does that. It's got stuck a little bit. Should be fine. I should have enough for the final few stitches. Let's see if we can get away with this. 3 more. 3 more. Oops. See, making mistakes already. I might need to snip this off because my needle is stuck on the thread for some reason. It's kind of stuck on top of it. I need to cut it off. Three ten, 310, 310. There we go. It's got final 3 stitches for this color. Put in a little bit more. I think when you have a defined area like that, like this in the box, you're a lot more disciplined, because normally it's very tempting to just stitch out of the area, you know, in the box, in the block or whatever. But because it's highlighted like this, you're kind of more inclined to follow the shape, not to go out. At least I try. It's very tempting. Just keep stitching. 310, going to park it. I might go for one more color. Maybe wrap it up. I can't believe I'm going off already 2 hours. It's so fast. It's scary. Time just disappears when you're stitching. So, okay, so we're going around the bottom right corner there. Very nice. Okay, so 321, 320, 321. Yes, I've got one here. It's a nice, beautiful red. And I'm going to go up there. Just make sure I start a right point. 1, 2. One, two. Yes. If you start off wrong, the more likely to make more mistakes later on. Over there. And this color I've got 28 stitches. And with this method, it's really nice once you get to the final color, as the color with most stitches, you can literally not having to look at the pattern for the remaining stitches, because you know you just need to go around to fill in all the colors. They're all the same color, and it's such a freedom. Maybe that's why it's much faster. Because if you look at this area, how many blocks? It's about 1, 2, 3 horizontal, so it's like 9 blocks. Normally that would take me a fair number of time. I mean, I'm not close to finish, obviously, but in a way it might get faster as I stitch, because there will be greater number of stitches of the same color. It's just faster that way. Less color thread color changes. So I've done these ones coming down and going around the bottom to make sure I don't get lost. It's running a bit short now. Maybe 1, 2 more stitches. I'm gonna end the thread. And the thread here. Let me see. So I've got 15 more stitches with this color. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Here we are. Last few stitches. I'm going to start from the bottom there. One, two, three, four. Oh, did I go over? 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Just about. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go over there. Good. I thought I've gone over. And another stitch here. Two more on the bottom there. Cool. I can hear my cat snoring. I can hear Dolly snoring. Let me see. Have I gone over the last 3? Oh my god. I don't know whether you can hear it. The sound from outside my window. Oh dear. Can you hear it? Oh goodness. Do you know what that sound is? If you can hear it, I'm not too sure. Oh my goodness. Right, last one. Oh my goodness. For those you don't know, that's actually the sound of foxes. So very often we have foxes in London urban area, and they'll come around to find food, a little bit like dogs. They're lovely creatures actually, but it's not recommended to approach them or give them food. The scavengers, so they'll come to find stuff from the bins, sometimes steal cat foods. I have foxes coming in through the cat flaps many times before. Let me just pop this one back. 3, 2, 1. So this will be 3, 2, 1. So this will be the last color of this session. So today I started from with this box here. Let me just zoom out my app here. Let me see if I can pinch. Let's zoom out a bit. Yes. So and zoom out my camera as well. So you can see, here's my little cat here. And then kind of started working on the cushion area and moving down this box. And this is user defined, so it involves about 9 blocks there. And today's colors pretty much flow toward the bottom and start to give it definition here, which is quite nice. It would be visually much easier to, as far as reference goes. Let me just remove this view there so you can see in its entirety as much as you can anyway. So there's a little bit that's been tucked under the frame, but not much, as you can see. And this cat is so lovely. And so I'm starting to work toward this area and tidy up all the loose stitches from the previous sessions, the previous method. I kind of use the mini cross country, so a lot of loose ones. And I'll start to define areas here and working on them one block at a time. Whatever size I decide to do, that makes sense. So this would be the amount of stitches I completed today. So let me show you, just to give you a summary of the stats here. We like stats from time to time. Okay, so it's generated the session today. If you look at the top right there, for Tuesday, which is today in my time, with Tuesday early morning, I've completed over 300. So 304, which is not shabby at all. For an amount of time, let me see if it gives me the actual, oh, sorry, I'm trying to click. I forgot I was doing, using a tablet. It's hilarious. So it doesn't give me the amount of time necessarily, but I can refer to my YouTube here. So I started about 3 hours ago. It really doesn't feel like it. It's so weird with this method. It just flies. It's very, very scary. So beware if you do get this app and start stitching this way, time flies. So this is my area today. Let me just untuck that. So I'll continue to work on this piece along with God knows how many pieces of ongoing project. And I think it's quite healthy to switch around from time to time so you don't get fatigue of a certain piece. So whichever piece you're working on, maybe a switching method or color palette and just a different design. And it's really, it keeps everything fresh. That's how I like to work anyway. So, so I don't know what the next session will be. I may continue with this piece or maybe switch to one of those 10 switches, 10 stitches, 10, yes, half stitches or 10 stitch projects as a palette cleanser. How's that? So thank you for stitching along with me if you're watching live and if you're watching the playback. I hope you enjoy the session as well. And I'd love to hear about the pieces you're working on, and hopefully I can catch you live at some point. And thank you for watching, and good night from London here. Good night with lots and lots of love. 99.